Defiance FM.
I mean, at what point do you go, I think this might be a cult?
I think they knew it. I just don't think they could get out, because didn't he just like bought a where was it? Was it Bolivia or?
It was somewhere in South America, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I wanted to go there. But it would have been really interesting, but we never got anywhere. It turns out the
Is it still there? Like,
I think the sign is. There's probably a T-shirt shop. That's what I really wanted.
I survived Jonestown.
Yeah, I went to Jonestown. All I got was this lousy T-shirt. Is it distasteful to just have like a in front of? Has enough time passed? Is it one of those?
There was an interview recently with someone who what they were saying was, I think that like their mum died in Jonestown, and she was basically putting out an appeal saying, "Can we all please stop saying just drink the Kool-Aid?" As a,
you know, that's a misconception. It was a product called Flavor Aid.
They did their PR team went overtime to swing that back around. Like
the Kool-Aid people were like, we could just work that in, and then because it'll become, it'll become like so well known. Kool-Aid is a phrase.
Yeah.
Because like people, it happened in songs and such, and phrases like drinking the Kool-Aid is like going along with it.
Oh, they really drank the Kool-Aid on this one.
Yeah, but all those women and children were murdered with Flavor Aid.
Oh wow. You know when we said 2 minutes ago, let's try and make
the real podcast was starting from now.
Okay, real podcast in.
I'm still waiting for the. I got a weird message from a work colleague. Just said he's built like Triple H now. He's going to be sexy. I have absolutely no idea what that's pertaining to.
Is it a one-on-one conversation, or is it with?
No, yeah, it's one-on-one.
Who is it?
I'm not gonna name him for. He's got a wife and kids.
This is how he gets outed.
Yeah. You know what? Weird thing. I don't know about you. I struggle to justify my existence. So I feel like I have to try and have.
You're a podcaster now.
Yeah, well, I feel like I have to try and do like 5 or 6 hobbies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, gotta fucking do Duolingo. Gotta do 5 lessons a day because for some reason I need to speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Horse riding. Well, she rides horses, so yeah, I gotta get good at that. I've got to.
You're becoming Mexican.
Yeah. Can't put that in.
What? They ride horses and speak Spanish.
Not all of them.
Yeah, but more than people here.
Yeah, probably. The one track the freight train was just derailed by that penny that. Yeah, so it's and then it's like, oh, scuba diving. Want to get into that. Want to do this. And what I really, really, really want to do more than anything else is just lie on a couch watching videos of kids falling off bikes and stuff like that. It's just so easy, isn't it? It's like I do think about it sometimes and go, this is mental. Like, and I keep doing the thing where it's like, just go away from your phone. Like, I look at people, myself included, and it's like everything they do, it's like, where's my phone? You just gotta have it on you. Gotta have it just in case, So I try and force myself to like read and stuff like that. Just like make it, but it's so hard because you've got such a short attention span these days. I think like back to being a kid, it's like, what do you fucking do in like a car ride for 5 hours?
Yeah, but I used to do this game with my students where, because one of the topics that came up in lesson was technology addiction. So I used to do this thing where I say like, do you think you're addicted to your phone? And they'd say no. And I say, okay, so you think you can go 20 minutes without looking at it? And they say, yeah. And I say, okay, well, 20 minutes left in the lesson. Let's see how you can do. Always failed.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they
It's like smoking. It's like, well, I could do it if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I quit anytime I want. I think it's probably harder for a lot of people than
Yeah.
quitting smoking. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, I go back to it time and time again, but it's funny, like the parallel between the one on Bandit, the pulling it, and the refreshing thing on the feed. And it's just replaceable. So like, remember when everyone was just on Facebook all the time, like 2010, 2012?
Yep.
And now it's like, if I go on it like once a week, probably, and does anyone look at it? It's sort of like been inherited by like middle age, live, laugh, love.
Yeah. The wine people.
Those middle-aged women that do that, and then the sort of middle-aged to older man whose their profile picture is like a super zoomed in, like a bit like that, and they
with the British flag filter over the top, the English St George's
and
cross.
it's like St George's Day, come on England, World Cup. It's like, walk for Captain Tom.
What's going on with Captain Tom?
Well, he's dead. He's still dead.
Yeah, he's dead. I mean, his family and his money and his hard-earned legacy.
I think they just had their 5-star private spa knocked down. But they were like, I think they said some shit like, oh, it's for the community. Everyone can come in. It's a nice, relaxing jacuzzi. That's what
will get us through this pandemic.
It's what he would have wanted. Yeah.
How many times did you clap for the NHS?
Approximately none. I think, yeah, probably about none times. I mean, I sort of get it, but I'm also cynical and like, fuck off, just fund it properly.
Yeah. When I saw Boris standing at the doorway of number 10 clapping, and then I started to see social media posts from nurses saying, no, we don't want claps, we want, PPE. I started to think,
more claps?
Yeah, more claps, you say. I started to think, okay, this is diversion tactics. Well, it probably started with the best intentions by the people who genuinely started it, but it was hijacked.
Well, that was the whole thing, wasn't it? It was like, they're not, in the nicest possible way, they're not heroes. Don't hail people who work for the NHS during COVID as heroes. I mean, they are, but it's like, don't sort of hold them up to this standard. It's like, because that's distracting you from the fact that everything else is fucked. United behind this banner of, I mean, where we just decided because it was sunny out to end lockdown. Yeah.
Or because Boris was having some troubles with his public image.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, no more masks. That should buy me another week.
And then everyone got to go out for 2 weeks and have a pint in a plastic cup. And then we all got to go in for another year.
It's like courtyard exercise.
Yeah, it was like a little bit of me misses some aspects of the pandemic because there was a lot less crowds.
If I'd known that it wasn't forever, do you know what I mean? I would have enjoyed it more.
You don't know what you've got till it's gone.
Yeah. I remember going for a walk, like, because it all kicked off, didn't it, in the winter, because like COVID-19, but we first started hearing about it in early 2020.
Well, she was still away and thinking everyone was getting flights back, and she was going, this will just pass over, and then they were like, no, yeah, you need to get off the island.
Where was she?
Somewhere in the somewhere around Thailand or the Philippines, like on a little paradise island. She was like, oh, everyone's going, we'll be fine, right? So they were like, no. And she do this, I think she lost like 800 quid. She booked a flight. Wow. And then it got not cancelled, but it was like, oh no, you can still get your flight. The flight still exists, it is going, except now because the rules have changed, only nationals of this country where it's stopping off at
right
to. So it's like, well, I can't get that flight, but they were like, well, it's still going.
I was working in the international school, and it was crazy because it was literally like all the students from one country would just bolt one day because they had to. It was like, yeah, we just got word that the government's shutting our borders in 48 hours, so we have to go now.
Yeah.
And then so they disappeared.
And the flight takes 36 hours.
Yeah. So and the airport's 2 hours away. So do the math.
Yeah.
And then somebody else would then, like the next day, another chunk of the demographic of students had just bolted because they were shutting the back to Oman or Saudi Arabia, so they would disappear.
Yeah.
It was fucking crazy. And all the Chinese students were getting loads of shit from all the other students because they're like calling it the Kung Flu.
I mean, that was our practice run for the real fucker that's going to wipe out humanity, and
I think we failed that
I don't
test.
think we will learn from it.
No.
I think instead of like, oh, for next time it happens, maybe do this, they'll just go, thank fuck for that, that's over.
If there's another pandemic, imagine people's response to... Because at first, like, the government was never popular. The government wasn't in a great starting position, but at least when the government said something, people were like, oh, okay, maybe we should. But now with all these text messages and WhatsApps coming out about how clueless they were for
oh yeah, if it happens again, everyone's going to go, nah, not listen to it.
Yeah, I literally know more about this than you probably, so...
Well, I had a pass from work, which just was like a letter saying, oh, critical worker needs to travel in a car over like the northwestern area or whatever, so I never got stopped or anything, but it was like...
I've seen your messages that you send when you're at work.
yeah.
This critical worker,
yeah. Skipped in front of like 5 old ladies to the front of the queue for the Tesco. Do you remember that? When everyone was just like... I mean, it does show you the real ugly side of humanity. Where it's like, everyone's basically just out for themselves. Because the people that aren't out for themselves just get left behind.
Yeah.
Trampled.
It was that thing, wasn't it? It was like, oh, people rushing to buy toilet paper.
I saw...
I better go and get some then.
Yeah. Shit, I don't want to be left behind. And like, seeing people saw a kitchen roll into 3 pieces just to make... Yeah.
To make toilet roll.
Toilet roll, yeah.
It really was the end times.
Probably should have been, shouldn't it? Realistically.
Give us an apocalyptic song.
Apocalyptic in terms of our career as a band, or... Because I think that was probably Death Basket. I reckon Sony had the checkbook out and then they were like, what's this?
We should give some context here.
What's that man saying?
We were playing a gig in Manchester and the rumour was that there was a Sony executive in the audience because she was going to watch the headline band.
Which wasn't us.
Yeah, no, we were going up first, I think. And the rumour was that she was going to go and watch them and it was part of them finalising the...
She got up and fucking sang with them, remember?
Yeah.
It was a very Peep Show sort of weird moment.
She was even wearing a Jeremy camo jacket, do you remember?
Yes, I do. That's part of the thing about us. I think any sign of having to play the game, it's just like, fuck these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you just can't. It's the used car salesman thing. It's like,
you have to have a fuck the man attitude.
Yeah, but I think it's...
But only when it's outward facing. No, you're not supposed to do that when you're actually in the meetings with these people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, that guy from that band, who for the sake of the podcast will go unnamed. He's a nice guy, but he's just like talking about...
I think I know who you mean.
The music industry. Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, we love this, and this is... Yeah, I really wanted to do this. When we were asking him questions, being polite, and then anytime like the conversation turned from what him and his band were doing, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get a drink. It's like, I'd fucking, you know what I mean? It's like,
do you remember that guy in Runcorn who gave us his CD?
The one that we flung out the window.
Yeah. Did you listen to it once though? Before that?
No, I think. I don't know, because no, it definitely... we put it on in the CD player and then we just lashed it out the window.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. The music industry is all about supporting each other.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
He needs a different type of support.
Yeah. Like a woman with a lanyard. Probably.
He was a head case.
Yeah.
Did he come up when we were playing pool or something? How did we get...
He came up and there was a whiteboard or chalkboard or something and he just drew like a pentagram on it and then started singing and gave us... I mean, he got our attention.
You had my curiosity.
Now you have my attention. What's that? And it's like, well, yeah, you've done part A well. It's just that I think maybe he had because I feel like sometimes we've got some of the songs we've got are good as a package and the materials there. It's just we don't have the
enough pentagrams.
It's just we're sort of hoping that someone from EMI or someone with a lot of money goes, oh, you guys are pretty good, and we go, oh, cheers, and then they do like, it's probably like one of those dating apps and such like that, or when you sort of first speaking to someone and you can feel like it's one person's doing all the legwork. That's what we need to be. We need to be like the girl that's not interested, and then we need a big millionaire bloke with contacts to just push us until we finally give in.
Sell out already.
Yeah, but I don't know, I just can't. I'm not very extroverted anyway, and I mean, talking to new people is like a bit of a mountain. I can't do the thing where the enthusiasm,
but it's way better that you
I can't do the enthusiasm.
It's better that you don't do it at all than you fake it.
Is it?
And then get back to your hotel or tour bus and go, Jesus Christ, don't let these people come up to me again.
Yeah, I don't know, I just can't do it. I wish someone else could do it. No one else really seems to be able to do it. I think Dan can do it. Jay's very enthusiastic and very talkative.
I'm the bassist, so they can't let me talk.
Yeah, it's like I want to support people and want to have this community, and then gets there and I'm like, what time are we on? Why are we here?
Should we discuss the band that bollocked me because everyone else left? And we won't name them.
The one that was screaming on the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, maybe that's what...
Because you all left.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone left. The crowd left.
We were the crowd and we left.
The staff left. It was like me...
The lights came on.
Yeah, the sound guy, and then this fucking band who were apparently headlining because they paid £200 for a ready-made tour without knowing where they were playing.
But then maybe if people leave early and stuff, we should get pissed off, because I think, yeah, fair enough.
Do you remember that woman who, as we were... there was like a couple that we were playing to, and it was like we were in a basement in sound, and it was literally us playing and then the guy behind the bar and then this couple, and we were playing, and then they were like edging towards the door.
Just go. Just go.
I think she picked up her bag and she just as they were walking, she kind of went like, sorry.
It's alright.
I mean, we kept playing. In my head I was like, yeah, the guy behind the bar definitely works for a music label in the day.
Yes, I mean, sometimes like, who are we playing for here, really?
Ourselves.
The love of it.
Yeah, the love of the game. Well, now's a good time to talk about Defiance and what we're trying to do.
Should I interview you for this bit?
Are you interested enough?
Either way,
yeah.
If you want to talk about it.
Okay. We are building a collective of artists.
Who's we?
Me and Dan.
Who's Dan?
Drummer for Seas of Neptune. Very talented. And a very, very talented photographer and videographer. So we're building a collective where we put our skills to work with my audio engineering. This thing didn't work there.
Yeah, it's what the thing that you look at like every sort of 20 minutes ago, oh shit, what's that? It's just crashed again.
Fuck.
Yeah. Carry on.
Yeah, between my audio skills and his your video making magic, we're trying to put together a collective of artists with videos, live performances, music videos, all that sort of stuff, and podcasting, interviews. So we've got some interviews already in the bag.
I wouldn't put this one in the shop window.
We don't know. Because some people I interview, and again, I'm not naming names, but some people have like a... Yeah, him. I was thinking him.
I mean, if it reaches a stage where he watches this.
If there's pushback, it means we've already made it.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah. Don't read it, weigh it.
But that's just the same as those people that. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
I can't believe I used to host a radio show in uni. And to be fair, in the bits where I sort of just went off on a tangent, the other person would just put a record on.
What, and just leave you talking?
I think I'll just fade me out, maybe, yeah. I mean, there were times, honestly, there were times where I would...
Just fade you back in.
I would,
the song
yeah, are you still going? Just back announce that track. Oh, he's still on the same thing. And I'd be playing... I'd do like a film review as a feature. And then I'd play, because you could just play it straight from YouTube, the sound, and there was a channel you could play it straight through the radio.
Right.
And then we'd get like 45 minutes the way through the trailer and go, this trailer's, it doesn't really work as an audio format because there's no talking in it. It was just a load of nice scenes.
And you have to describe what you're seeing.
Captions, and I was watching it going, oh yeah. And then John, the other guy, would go, is this just an audio trailer? I'd be like, oh yeah. And that just went out.
Are they recorded anywhere? Are they archived?
I think... Yeah. I think that hard drive was given an acid bath by the good people at John Foster's building it. No, I have got them somewhere on an old laptop. I mean, I think some of the stuff was pretty close to the bone 10 years ago, so...
Yeah, so now you'd be...
But the good thing about not getting famous is you can't get cancelled.
That's true. But then if you do get famous, it all gets dug up again.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
But then also, does cancelling exist? I mean, what is cancelling?
Well...
Yeah, that's a cancelling, but I mean, you weren't that level, were you? No. Should we talk about where we're up to, album-wise?
I suppose so. Well, we had the album launch 2 years ago, and the album's still being recorded. I think as a soundbite tells you everything you need to know about Susan Neptune. Some other ones include turned up to a gig 200 miles away with no bass guitars.
Yes.
And didn't realise till we got there.
The fact that we turned up in the smallest town we've ever played in, and I'll never forget that moment where I went to get my bass guitars out of the back of Jay's car, and I thought, oh, that's funny. Jay must have already taken them out. Wait, no, Jay's still in the driver's seat. He hasn't done anything.
Oh no, the cold sweat.
Yeah.
That's just one example. There've been... It's the across the board incompetence.
Go on, give us a song.
Which? Which one?
Go on, give us a Season Neptune original.
God, really?
You don't have to.
I feel like because we've had this new album for like so long, we've just played them all to death.
Alright, well, we've got new ones. Do Go Back to Sleep.
I can play. No, yeah, Go Back to Sleep.
Yeah, come on.
This will make up the majority of... When we record the song, it'll probably be in tune as well. It's every single door that's unlocked, when nobody can tell you to stop. If you're laughing in the face of the drop, then who you are might come as a shock. I'm too tired to care when everywhere you go is not there. I'm too tired to care. I'm tired of breathing second-handed. Which pathways aren't supposed to be crossed? Could nothing take me out of this hellhole? Will nothing put me back in my box? I'm too tired to care when everywhere you go is not there. I'm too tired to care. I'm tired of breathing secondhand air. It's everything that ever made me scared, or awake, or aware. From the voice of the mother, the hand of the father, we got pills for your baby. Slide them past your wicked tongue. First comes the sickness, from the loss of another. Always under the surface, it's just been hiding all along. I'm too tired to care when everywhere you go is not there. I'm too tired to care. I'm tired of breathing secondhand air. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep.
Cool. Have you changed the lyrics?
Probably. Yeah, I think that's the thing about it is, especially sort of after a few years of writing songs, it's like, when do you stop? It's, no, but it's like, in terms of like, when do you just leave it alone? You know, it's like...
Yeah, oh, right. You don't mean as a hobby.
When do you stop?
When does it end?
It's like, I think the issue is, believe it or not, is chasing perfection.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because when do you just like leave something alone? You know, it's, if you were like painting a canvas or something, when you just put the fucking paint down,
Yeah.
when you just leave it to dry and go, well, that's that. And it's, when's the tipping point when it's like, that's the peak. And then, you know, if you keep pushing it anymore, you thought that it goes downhill from there.
It's probably like when you think it's 100% done, it was probably done at 80%, and that extra 20 is just overwrought. We're guilty of half writing 1,000 songs,
yeah,
and never finishing one.
I think sometimes
we're not as bad now, but we had a phase where we were really bad for that.
Yeah, I think sometimes maybe we focus on, it's because there's so many other facets to the industry and getting on that just aren't music related. It's like all this social media and stuff and press and trying to put stuff out and drumming up attention,
but not the wrong type of attention.
Yeah. You know, and sometimes it's that thing I'll regret. I don't want to regret in years' time looking back and going, oh, well, this amounted to nothing, so I wish we'd just all sat around writing songs.
Because if you start thinking of it as a business, I think you are... I mean, you have to think of it as a business to some degree, but if that overtakes it and becomes the majority, I think you're dead in the water, because you just start... I think everything starts to suffer. You start to dress how you think people want you to dress. You start to play how you think people would want you to play.
Yeah.
And
well, in tune.
Yeah.
Fuckers. So demanding. Yeah, it's changed so much over the past sort of 10 years is quite hard to rank. It can be quite overwhelming to think that, you know, I mean, I'm sure there were other things that were back then, you know, it wasn't all easy.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it, back then, before like digital recording, you got to play the song pretty much fucking perfect. You can't be just like slicing up bits of tape every time someone plays a bum note and just going, yeah, just copy over that. We'll get that.
Never get out of the studio.
Yeah, like bands back then, proper bands, not like us.
Not like these jokers.
Very horrible bands from Wish. We just play one note each and then just compile that into something that sounds like a song.
Throw it at the producer and say, yeah, pick the bones out of that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. See you in a month.
Do you subscribe to the philosophy that if it was worth remembering, you would remember it?
No.
You just don't.
I mean, maybe, but maybe it's levels. Maybe if Billy Joel or, you know, Michael Jackson thought that, then it, you know, they'd be. If it was worth remembering, I would have remembered that shit.
I remember Billy Joel sounding like that.
Yeah, that was Billy Joel doing a Michael Jackson impression. But I think it's like maybe better musicians and melody writers than I. If it was worth remembering, so they would remember it. Maybe I've never come up with something that is worth remembering. That's what they can take from this. If it's true that if it's worth remembering, you'd remember it and never come up with anything memorable.
But you come up with loads of memorable stuff, and then we'll say to you in 2 weeks' time, "Oh, what was that one you were playing?" And you'll go,
"What, that Queens of the Stone Age song from?" And you go, "Oh yeah, that was good. That I remember. I did like an open mic thing years ago, and then my then girlfriend at the time was like, how was it? It was like, oh yeah, I really like the second one you did. I was like, yeah, that was the only cover I did, so you know, at least I played it okay. But then that's sort of like, it's weird because you think someone can recognise that, oh, that song is, I know again all subjective, but I played like a couple of my own. And that one in the middle was like a Radiohead song, and she recognised that as being, oh, that's a standout one. But then we've played covers before, and people have come up to us and gone, oh yeah, oh no, I thought that was one of yours. Yeah, I thought it was all right.
Do we pass it through the Seas of Neptune filter?
It's like a Tom Petty song. It's Running Down a Dream, was it? Oh yeah, we threw in the Tom Petty cover because he died like the week before. Well, you actually didn't.
Oh, well, that was a gig I didn't play, yeah.
So, yeah, and they were like, oh yeah, no, I just thought it was another song. Yeah, sounded alright. So, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe just everything we touch turns to death. Like, yeah, it's like the Harry Kane curse. But it's like us with music.
Who was that footballer who every time he scored, a celebrity died?
Aaron Ramsey.
Don't think
it was every time he scored.
It was enough. It was enough to raise eyebrows.
Yeah. I mean, sort of. I don't think it would have made the news like 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah, in the age of social media, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, do End of the Road?
Can't remember it. Oh, for fuck's sake. It wasn't memorable enough. That's a thing. I think it's thing is in this, it's like the words, because like I keep journals, but it's like there's no cohesion to it. Like some of it's just like cut out bits of birthday cards people have given me. Natural History Museum.
So it's a scrapbook?
Sort of, yeah. Just pictures of us and the dog. It's like a mixture between like an old lady's photo album of all her like relatives that have also died and like the diary of some lunatic.
If someone found that, what would they do with it? Would they... If someone found that and read it, what would their
I don't think they
reaction?
could read it. You see my handwriting?
Yeah, yours is worse than mine. I can't say that to many people.
What's that?
Let me try and. There's a reason we don't let you write the set list.
Yeah.
Give me something I'm allowed to read.
Yeah, something.
Oh, give me lyrics for a song I already know. Oh, good God. How you fried wavy title. Working title.
Maybe.
It says wavy title.
Does it?
Oh,
No,
what
it's annoying
movie?
because like sometimes I can't even read it. I do that thing where like my hand's too impatient to get out, so it just goes, ugh.
That's like the
Just scrolls it.
writing equivalent of having a stammer.
Yeah. Must get these
Words
lyrics out on the page. Yeah.
Starved.
And I'm left-handed as well, so it just smears everything.
Et wine. Nothing but a thimble. The feast.
It's like, you know, when children learn to read, they read like the Biff and Chip books.
Yeah.
And they go up and like, oh, pink is the first one, then it's red, and then orange or whatever. And it's like the cat went on the table
Where the employee dive. Jesus. And I know that the lyrics will be really good. It's just like a secret code that only you can read.
Yeah, I've enigmaed myself because I can't even read them. I mean, that's probably some of the best content we're going to get.
Should we leave it there?
I feel like